Hey guys, what's up? Unrested here, and as you can see today I am in a different spot. I am trying out something new for my walk and talk J-Vlogs or J-Facts, whatever you want to call them. And I am covering working in Japan today. I'm going to take you along as I go to work and tell you a little bit about the average Japanese workday. Come join me. So, I guess let's go ahead and start it out from square one, getting ready in the morning. First thing I do is grab my bag and I start making sure I got a little bit of everything put in here so that I am ready for the day. I work 2 jobs throughout the day. I work for a friend's school and then I go to my own school, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later as I explain how this whole day works. First things I grab is my YouTube bag full of all my notes and everything for videos and stuff that I'm working on and shooting on for the day. Any free second I have to work on this stuff, I use it. Pretty much my free time is YouTube. Of course, you got to grab the cell phone, throw that in there. My work notebook, which is my other notebook that I have to bring, has all my lessons in it for the day, so I know what I'm teaching and which classes I'm teaching as I go between 2 jobs. Next, we got to bring the computer, which I can't exactly throw in there right now because I'm using it to record sound at the same time. But you get the gist. Now from this point, it's time to get the jacket on, get the room heated up a little bit because we have space heaters in each room. And I'm going to wake up the 2 kids, get them ready, and hurry off to school with them. I've got to take them to school and to Juku today. If you don't know what Juku is, it is cram school. It's pretty much school for school, after school, or school to advance your kids on kind of a higher level as far as grades and tests are concerned. Wake them up and get dressed, and it's time to go.
I had a better voice and sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I...
Now, to be perfectly clear, this is going to be a video purely on Japanese city work life and most generalized archetypes as well. There are thousands of small differences and unique circumstances that make many other Japanese and expats living here in Osaka City very, very different. What I am giving you today is a streamlined version of the typical salaryman. Japan's 12-hour workdays, as well as many of the educational and extracurricular activities both adults and children have going on parallel to the average Japanese work week. First, let's talk basics. The average Japanese full-time worker works 8 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. Sunday usually being the only day most have off unless you are in retail or customer service, etc. Although Japan's government labor sites will lie and say Japanese are supposed to only have an 8-hour work day in a full-time contract, they fail to mention the hundreds of thousands of hours the overworked Japanese people put in daily as overtime or off the clock, and multiple meetings go completely off record and far out of the bounds of what is truly written in most of these said contracts. Even part-time employees in Japan have told me their average workday is 4 to 8 hours, often both work amounts being paid the same. Of course, one of the main questions I get when people hear this is how this affects the health of Japanese culture as a whole, and to be frank, it can at times be so harsh it leads to an early grave. Uniqlo, Toyota, and many other well-known international companies keep it well swept under the rug, but they have all faced court cases accusing them of forcing their workers into karoshi, which literally translates to death from Overwork. The next question I always get is, as an expat in Japan, do I get worked that hard? Well, yes and no. My situation is more of a self-imposed grind, as I work a full 8 hours a day at my friend's school and then come home to continue work on my own school, which is currently in the process of growing and opening its doors to more and more customers as my own schedule allows. Next year, I plan to open my school full time, and even then I'll be working 12 to 14 hours and maybe even longer. But making it as a small biz in Osaka requires that kind of work ethic. Just to give you one very brutal statistic from the Japanese Health and Labor Board, 60% of all expats and Japanese-owned bars and restaurants close within their first 6 months due to competition, overhead, and financial troubles. So if your plan is to work outside of the box of the salaryman life and fast forward into starting your own gig, I wish you the best of luck, and I am rooting for you all the way. At the same time, I want to keep things grounded in reality. As far as married couples are concerned, the most traditional situations are a salaryman working full-time with a housewife who takes care of all things house, kids, cooking, and finances.
Able to identify where it's coming from. I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I'd probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, because we have the same nose.
The housewife is the guard of the house, and the salaryman is the man of the house bringing in the bread and the butter. He's putting the food on the table, but at the same time, he's getting little to no free time to himself and little to no free time with his kids and his family. Sadly, this has also led to another problem in Japan, and that is depopulation. According to a poll done, consensus of the World Health Organization, by the year 2050, Japan's population should be cut in half if depopulation continues down this path. The reason for this being that if you make people work 8 to 12 hours, they are too tired to do anything when they get home, like find a girlfriend, like get married, like find a boyfriend and have kids, like find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, get married, start a household, and have kids. It crumbles society to work them this hard. Fortunately, the government is doing a white page report that hopes to change this and legally enforce a more strict code as to making workers go home early, and some companies are enforcing this by literally turning off the lights to the company, calling it a lights out policy, in which case there is no electricity being streamed through the building and people are literally forced to go home, including the CEO and boss of the building or company. Getting back into the daily struggle that is the life of the salaryman, it pretty much goes like this in the shortest synopsis that I can put together. Usually the woman is the first one of the house to wake up. This is the housewife type that I talked about earlier. She makes a breakfast for the salaryman, who then wakes up a little bit later. He will then eat his breakfast. She will have a bento ready for him, which is a box lunch, which she either prepared the night before or while he is eating breakfast. He then can take that to work. He leaves earlier than the kids and the wife. The wife, who usually takes the kids to school, then drops them off, goes back to the house, and begins her own housework. Pretty much anything from cleaning the entire house, and I'm talking nearly floor till ceiling if she's a really good housewife. Then also on top of that, taking care of all the kids' extracurricular activities such as sports, plays, upcoming Happyokai at school, which is the end of the year play, and so much more.
My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Well guys, there you got it. That's a full day, and I kind of want to just show this for the fact that a lot of people not only ask me how the average workday goes, but also to kind of give you a glimpse of what you might expect if you want to come here and work. Just how busy things are, how much of a grind the daily hassle is to get on the train, to go to work, to drop off kids if you have a family. Having a family here and working full-time, 8 to 12 hours, is a busy life. Time literally flies by left and right. If you are ready to take on the Japanese workplace and handle the heavy grind of heavy workloads, long hours, Bonenkai parties, end of the year parties, and the wa, which is the Japanese harmony in the workplace, then Japan's right for you. If not, maybe think it over a little bit, do some research. I hope this video helped. Until next time, I'm Unrested with the questions you requested. This is JFAC, Jobs in Japan. Have a good one.
Used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, bunny. Used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money.